This should be started, yeah? Uh-oh. Come on. There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's stream. If any of my audio settings seem off, please let me know. I would rather fix them in the beginning. I'm going to type it too, just in case. The audio is off. Let me know. If you want me to look at a chart, let me know. I was trying to be fancy with the words there, but I'm just going to say the same thing again because it works. All right. I forgot to pop out the chat. I'm going to do that. Pop. Slide this over here. I'm going to pin it. Beautiful. Thank you very much for tuning in. Sip of water, and then we're on our way. Messed with the compression settings for my microphone, so should be able to hear me a little bit better now. And I enabled RTX NVIDIA noise cancellation, so I can listen to my music while I stream, and you can't hear it while I play different music for you. Very happy with that. So let's get to it. Start with Bitcoin. Actually, I'm going to wait for Bitcoin so some people have time to file in, because you know. Yeah, and if the stream's acting up for you, just check my YouTube channel. The link's below the video. All right. Everything's good. I got my 8-string guitar. I'm going to play some of the Doom soundtrack for you. That's the real reason for today's stream. I mean, I could do it. If I get enough requests, I will do it. Okay. Where to begin? We can take a look at natural gas. Natural gas has been doing some really cool things with our wave PM readings. Let's do the 1 hour. ACAT has been really clean with this chart. Except there's a little bit of converse expansion. No, it's fine. Yeah, respected volatility overhead. All right, let's take a look at ACAT. So this has been very interesting for me. Mostly because these compressionary cycles have just been pretty clean. CLCP hasn't been too well respected. Hi, man. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to the stream. If you want me to look at the chart, let me know. Send me more pictures of Spider-Man. Did Global Trade Signals call the bottom there with the support? He might have. Ooh, that bastard. Yeah, man. That long-term trend line actually held. Yeah, okay, but the problem is the trend line goes down to here. 1.2. And you can draw it horizontally as well from the previous one. So, I wouldn't have got that. Hi, Unzush, how you doing? Yeah, daily overexpansion on nat gas isn't too bad. The volatility is interesting. This move here hasn't caused any overexpansion on the 4 hour or the 1 hour, so I'm going to leave it alone. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Let's do top down, because I haven't looked at the 4 hour in a while. Since the drop, actually. Do you use indicators always? Pretty much only use Bollinger Bands. Everything on this chart is a derivative of a Bollinger Band. Right? Do the quick rundown. This is CCI. It's a mean absolute deviation representation of Bollinger Bands. My set periods. This is wave PM. It's a normalized reading of how wide the Bollinger Band is. So, if you have a low reading, it's a Bollinger Band squeeze. If you have a high reading, it means that the Bollinger Band is too big and there is no potential energy left, which means price can't move on its own. or rather, it would require excessive force to move price, in other words, volume. So if you have a lot of high readings, price is probably going to go sideways or back to a mean inversion. Last but not least is 3D wave PM. 3D wave PM is wave PM except shown as a heat map where red is 0.9 and blue is 0.4. So essentially the idea is you get readings of compression and expansion, and you can define ranges using said Bollinger Bands based on the longest overexpanded periods and highest compressed or longest compressed period. Yeah, lots of fancy math. It's made by a cat with charts. He's a genius. Proud of that man. Gonna do a call today, and we're gonna get multi-charts set up so I'm able to load up the ACAT indicator on every time frame at the same time, which is it's gonna be crazy. So that's the rand on the indicators. It's just Bollinger Bands, but it's a lot of readings from a lot of Bollinger Bands on all the time frames at the same time. So I need a sip of water after that. And I'm making sure I'm not slurping because I have the microphone super close to my face today. No camera today because I have a new desk and I don't have a place to put my camera. It's a little bit thinner than my old one. Or at least I had two desks lined up next to each other in my old one, and now it's just one. They cleaned my room. Thanks, Jordan Peterson. Just kidding. Let's get to work. All right. So what we care about is, first of all, wow, hold on. Activation of our mean inversion condition. So longest overexpanded period is, in this scenario, 150, which has defined itself like so. Right? So essentially, as long as we are above this pivot here, let me define that for you. Beautiful. Right, as long as we're above this pivot, Bitcoin was in a state of upward trend. If I were to take a re-long position or load up on a long, it would have been here at 9,600, and I would have stopped out as soon as it blasted through to around 8,800. So after that, we had entered a short condition, and it is a short condition because we have entered a state of compression for our longest overexpanded period. So again, ACAT. We've seen a little bit of new overexpansion. Hey, Dan, how you doing? We're talking about Bitcoin today. With this new leg of overexpansion, we have upped that period to 200, which means that this adaptive band has now lended itself to the 200 period, which essentially means that price is very unlikely to leave this distribution until one of two conditions has completed. One, we have traveled to this moving average in the middle, which is the 200 moving average, right? If you have a data set or a distribution, right, a bell curve, and we know the bell curve is in a state of compression, as in the data points are getting smaller, it would make sense if current price would eventually go to the middle of it, right? It makes sense that eventually you would be in the average during a compressionary condition, which is why mean inversions work. So it's likely we'll do one of two things. Either Bitcoin is going to go sideways, which would be the most bullish scenario possible, right? Just tapering along the top edge of the longest overexpanded period. Or we'll see full mean inversion and compression with however it wants. It can do a loop-de-loop for all I care. So we should be looking for short-term shorts at this time. Now, we know there's a very strong fundamental event that could screw up all this analysis, and Bitcoin could do whatever it wants. I accept that. I understand that. That's cool. Bitcoin price goes wild as halfening commences. I don't know about that. I'll be real with you. Look, the halfening doesn't immediately cause significant price change. It never has. It's very similar to descending wedges. Where, say, if you see, most obvious one I can think of is on to BTC on the daily chart. All right, let's get rid of that. So, like, let's say you have a descending wedge, right? When your descending wedge completes, let's do it like that. Beautiful. When your descending wedge completes, and you break out, a lot of people buy this right here. They say, oh, wow, look at this. Our descending wedge is completed. It's time for price to go wild. And there's a little volatility pop with a tiny bit of volume. And they go, hey, look at that, 15%. And then people get bored and they sell because nothing's happening. And then price spikes afterwards. This happens a lot. It's really common. Or this is another good one. It's not really clean, but like you have descending wedge. It's not really descending wedge. It's a channel. You got the channel. Oh my God, what am I doing? Beautiful. And when we break out of the channel, we just go sideways and then we see the spike. We could attribute this to volatility theory. Say where price finishes its move, but we need to wait for potential energy. Again, values below 0.7 before the move begins, which is what happened in, say, this instance. But I'm pretty sure the same thing's happening on Bitcoin. So let's take a look at the BLX chart. All right, can someone give me the exact halfening dates? I don't remember them. Yeah, get those my way, please. Is this right? Jesus. Has it really been that long since March? Time flies. Holy hell. We really dipped down to 4,000, didn't we? Jesus. I'm gonna turn off logarithmic because it's screwing up my sense of scale. Okay. We can manually define this to the 150 here. July 16th, 2016. What was the other one? I know there's two. That's fine. We'll look at July 16th. And we're switching back to log. Cool. Alt V. Cool. July 16th, okay. Let's edge that a little bit. Okay, there we go. So, what do we see? We see a significant drop before the halfening with a slow recovery. Halfening happens. Oh, what the hell? Nothing happens? Okay. We see a horrifying significant drop. It gets a lot of people to sell. And then we start our upward trend, right? We could call this a liquidity scoop if we want, right? We have a fundamental event that would reliably increase the price of Bitcoin. Now, with this drop here, you have a lot of people going long because of the halfening. You want to shake those positions out, so we get a forced move down. And then we start the slow uptrend after all the interest fades, right? How long after this huge crash? Price goes sideways for 2 months. 2.5 months, almost 3 months. And then it starts its slow upward trickle, which again, we can attribute to volatility theory if we wanted, where price needs to wait to go everything below 0.7. It doesn't matter. It's around the same area. So, all right, we have this 0.7 million. And when price finally sees expansion, which means every period is rising in the same direction, we get our trend from below 0.7. I'm going to guess Bitcoin's going to do the same thing again, current price. So, I think we might see a little bit of a drop in price action. Where, oh, we got the drop today, didn't we? Nice. Well, I would guess that price is either going to go sideways for a while. And if that is the case, we are going to wait for all our values below 0.7 on the wait PM. Like so. everyone's going to get bored because Bitcoin's not doing anything, and then it's going to start a slow trickle upward. That's my guess. What do you guys think about that? I think it's pretty cool. Okay, what's next, guys? If you guys want me to look at a chart, let me know. Cool. Oh, I guess I can check the YouTube ones. Hold on. Forgot to do that. Yeah, I got 10 people over here, but no comments. Oh well, pop it out anyway. Shoot. I think the important thing with fundamental events is you got to get people bored before you start driving price. Bogdanov himself. All right. You want me to pump it, baby? Let's go. Well, it's an uptrend. It's good stuff. Check the 4 hour, see if we can get any bullish mean reversion conditions here for us. Okay, let's try the 1 hour. So we define this here as an overexpansion and this as the first bit of a mean reversion. We can define a swing low. So, might be messy. Let's check. Try the 2 hour.
Is something that is spontaneous. The Chinese word for nature, 自然, means that which happens of itself. Your hair grows by itself. Your heart beats by itself. You breathe pretty much by itself.
Nice. The downward expansion was really clean. We talked about our short opportunity on the 26th, I believe.
So when you go to sleep and
you can go check that stream if you want. But
try to breathe.
We have to reload the indicator. Timed out.
And let it happen.
Show me what you got. Come on, iCat, I believe in you. I will take a look at Aeon and ZIL. Oh, damn you. All right, well, 3 hour it is. Thanks for your patience. This indicator is very large. Okay, that's a clean reading. Let's take a look. Nice. That's really clean. All right. So this is our trend defining pivot. As long as we were below it, we were in a state of downward trend. Okay. So, this is yellow. I'm in a yellow mood today. It's good contrast. Right, so we rejected it from it once, we rejected from it twice, and now we have activated said mean reversion condition, which implies we will need to compress in this band, which means price should eventually hit the mean. And because we're around a local swing low for the daily trend, oh goodness, we just barely touched it. I would be inclined to try to scoop up any swing low you see. So, because, what's the lox here? Shit, yeah, you could take a long right now if you wanted. That's good. Just bet on trend continuation. I like that. You might have to hold for a while as price just goes sideways and before we resume uptrend, but I'd say it's pretty good. All right, let's take a look at Zill. Ooh. This wasn't always a low sat coin. I got a pancake in the fridge. I'm going to go get it. Getting kind of peckish. All right. Well, all right. Never mind. We'll load it right away. Oh, Forney, didn't we... You asked about this chart on the 7th, didn't you? Yeah, we took a long right here, if I recall correctly. Yep. Let me know. Oh, yeah, baby. Glad you were here for it. This is why. So, we had our trend-defining pivot. And we say as long as we're above the pivot, we should bet on upward trend. And lo and behold, we stayed above the pivot. And now we have upward trend, which means we are up 15%. You are more than welcome to continue holding Zill. It's an upward trend. You bet on upward trends. Stay long. If you want to go for a re-entry, 75 sats is your location. Okay. Looks good. Stay long. Take a look at Aeon. The coin we were long on last month. Yeah. This one is a little different. So we saw this compression here, and we got our upward spike as a result. I got shaken out of this, personally, which I'm fine with, but a little disappointing. That's not bad. Yeah, you could try that. That's a really clean CLCP. So we're generating this reading here on the 400 period. Which means this support is pretty good. I'm okay with betting on that. You can bet on that if you want. We have pretty good volatility here. A range around 25%. If you want to bet here and just bet for the high of the range, so 20%, I'd say, the safe side. That'd be a safe position too. Okay? I like it. Let's take EOS oil. All right, long on Aeon, long on Zill. Great choices, Forney. I like them. Okay. So EOS oil is going to be a bit tricky. Because we use volatility to trade. And if you have negative values, I guess US oil is fine. We're not looking at the futures. Yeah, but if we go to 0, essentially, it means we're going to max out our readings because our range is now too large to be read. So our overexpansions read is 0 as long as our look back period is 100 and there are less than 100 candles since that date. So we can get readings in the 1 hour chart, in theory. All right, well, is the stream offline? It is not. I'm going to link the dude to the YouTube restream. To the YouTube restream. There you go, dude. You done? Keep going. All right, we good. US oil, we got a compression area range. Let's check it out. Ooh. All right, support is 23.66, resistance is 27. Looks good. That's it. That's all I got for you. I'm not kidding. It's literally all I have for you. The CLCP has fizzled out here on the 15-minute. Yeah, I got nothing. Sorry, dude. Or if you want to try along, I'm not comfortable trading this. Looks like noise to me, man. And I can't get good compressionary readings on the longer time frames because everything is technically below 0.4. But the relative volatility is so weird. I don't want to play with it. Alright. Not optimal. Alright. If you want me to look at the chart, let me know. I'm going to go get my pancake because I'm hungry. ENJ, let's check it out. I'm not gonna try that username though. Welcome to the stream. You wanna tell us what it means? That's something. Oh my god. So, long story expanded period is 180. I'll load that manually in just to show you something cool. Alright. So, because we entered this broke band, price compressed laterally, center mean inversion. And now, resistance looks good. So, compressionary condition is technically finished, so this resistance is no longer valid. Price could, in theory, see no upward trend, which means we would have to find a swing low on a lower time frame, which in theory we could do with quad CCI. So, I don't know about using that on crypto on the 1 hour. Oh my god, it's a pancake. It's got chocolate chips. Ah. I got a good life. So, not really any readings I can use down here. 15 minute? Oh, that's tough, man. You have this super wide channel, but I can't define a swing low for you at this time. I'm sorry. Alright, if you got any questions, let me know. It's an important thing to know when not to have an opinion. Best way to clear muddy water is to leave it alone. So yeah, there is profit potential, but I don't know how to enter it, so I'm not gonna try. Check my watch list. I wanted to short this here. I have an old chart saved for it. That would have been nice. That was 45%. Jesus. God, it was perfect. It was so perfect. I'm a little annoyed with myself now. That was a perfect quad CCI roll down. What about mana? I'm actually at the moment. I cannot cast any spells. Wow. That was fun. bib pitchforks back in the day. This isn't even registering as compressed, though. That's the problem. Sure, the compression range is fine. But because we have these tight periods and then volatility with no direction, we can't define new expansions either to the upside or the downside. Right? Because we're volatility traders. So like when you have a volatile period following with the following compressionary period, we can define that. And it gets defined really well by ACAT, our indicator, which you can find below in our link. So we define this really clean range, which plays out almost flawlessly, except for this one little bump here. And then we have our second boundary here, which gets tagged, which does cancel out the CLCP because it generates an expansion. But yeah, the problem is we immediately saw mean inversion and then converse expansion to the downside and then converse expansion to the upside. Yeah. So all this volatility going in opposite directions is really not conductive for the volatility theory. So I can't define a good range for you at this time. Sorry. All right. I require more pictures of Spider-Man. Give me them charts. Damn, I totally just opened my email. All right, that's fine. I got nothing important on it. All right. Gesundheit. I sneezed. I don't remember that. Okay. I'm just gonna eat my food until you guys give me a chart. It's pretty good. You explain the colorful display at the bottom? Sure thing, man. So everything here is a derivative of a Bollinger Band. There's obviously Bollinger Bands on the top, or at least generated Bollinger Bands, parts of it. CCI is just a mean absolute deviation representation of a Bollinger Band. With PM, it's essentially like Bollinger Band squeezes. So like, if prices gets really tight, the Bollinger Band gets really thin, these readings go down. So like, this was volatile, but then it calmed down, so the distribution compressed, which allowed us to define a range based on 3D wave PM. This blue taper here, we consider that sufficiently compressed. So all this here. If we define something as sufficiently compressed, that means volatility can occur in that range without any potential energy necessary. So price can freely range inside that as defined by the pivot point of expansion and compression, which is the 1.25 standard deviation. All right. Whereas red is overexpanded, meaning there's been too much volatility, there's no longer potential energy, and if you have no potential energy, that means it would require excessive force to push price. And if you need excessive force, which is essentially volume, buying and selling, it means price is less likely to move. So, essentially what you want, period of high compression where every value is below 0.7, and as soon as everything starts expanding in the same direction, whichever way the CCI is weighted here, positively, you can take that upward trend. So what do we do next? As soon as we exhaust all that energy, we define a mean reversion pivot based on that same pivot for expansion, using this value here, which in this case was 300. So once we actually enter 300 period, now this volatile move up here would have stopped me out, but we would have caught this second one here. It implies price needs to compress as defined by that distribution, which again, we can manually load as the 300. Watch this. So what happens? Longest ever expanded period was 300. What happens? Price compresses as defined by the 300 period. Beautiful. Until this value, 300 period, goes below 0.7, which is defined as green. What just happened? Stop that. There we go. Which did not occur until... Why did it happen again? Jesus. Which did not occur until... right here. April 21st. So, until April 21st, price was confined to the 300 period band, at which point it was sufficiently compressed, which means it could once again expand, and then what happens? Volatility kicks up, and we see movement outside of it. So, it's 3 p.m. Volatility trading. It's really advanced stuff. We've got about 4 hours of free educational content and a Google Doc in our Discord. So if you want to watch like lengthy, in-depth details on what all of these settings do and how to use them, that's freely available. So take a look. Okay. Any other charts you guys want me to look at? Probably not. I'll give you guys 2 minutes. Get your final charts in. Oh yeah, I'll show you guys what I've been making. Yeah, dude, it is awesome. Give me a follow. I'll stream Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. MST. So, how many polys did I break this down to? So, are you asking for gold or is GLD a crypto? Yeah, so my hobby / other job, I guess I make enough money from it to call it a job, is making dice. And I figured out how to use parented object instancing to make something really cool. Yeah, I'll check out gold for you. Just 1 second. I'm having a moment. But essentially, let me save this as a copy. This is Bones Decimated. What are we going to call it? Quads. Because I changed the topology. File, open, recent. Ooh, Mr. Bones, Wild Ride. That's the wrong one. It's going to be this one. Nice. So I make dice. This is what I made recently. It's 9.2 million triangles, which I have had to compress down to less than 1 million so I could actually print it. But I made a die that's kind of like the remains of Cthulhu or something. I don't know. But it's pretty spooky. It took me like 8 hours, but figuring out how to do the object parenting was so useful because now I can do this. Watch this. This is so insane. I can now edit any of these. Come on. Okay, I have to select them. You know, edit any of these or not. It's very unhappy with me. It's because they're not instanced. All right, that's fine. I can edit this one. I cannot. All right, we're done. I'm not gonna figure that out right now. But that's what I'm doing. So because they're instanced in, they don't technically count as mesh, which is why it shows only 4,400 triangles, 4,400,000 triangles instead of that number times 20. So they don't count as vertices, which means I can't sculpt on them. So I have to convert it into real mesh, and that's computationally taxing. Anyway, I'm gonna take a look at gold. All right. What we got? Was that a bull flag I spied? Don't trust bull flags, my sons. What do you call the colorful chart? Oh, what's its name? This is 3D Wave PM down here. The Wave PM Mal Mix. This is Dad's Ultimate Containment Quad CCI. I named that myself. And this one is ACAT. Join my Discord and we'll happily answer any questions you have. But this is why I don't like bull flags. This is really nice. So we define this bull flag here, right? Nice. So, price. Is there any way to use my shift scroll so I scroll vertically? I'm curious. I want to do this, except with my keyboard and my mouse. Anyway. We got our compression, right? We get a breakout, it retests. Cool, this is where everybody buys. What do you see? Good volume spike. Look how nicely that respects the CLCP, though. It's beautiful. But then it immediately tested again, and then tested again, and then, uh-oh, we broke below the trend line. Haha, just kidding. Now we go. Essentially, if you ever see a breakout pattern, just place your buy order below it. I mean, it's not that simple, but it can be pretty entertaining. It can work. Trend lines are made to be broken. I got a compression rate condition, I guess. It's nice. Ooh. I would have longed that. Hasn't quite played out yet. All right. These are really clear readings. Holy hell. So, every time price goes in a purple band, it's going to go to the moving average in the middle before it begins a new trend. All right, watch this. And I bet it's going to do it 10 times in a row. Who's ready? Who's ready? Let's do it. 1, check. 2, check. Uh-oh. 3, check. 4, check. 4 in a row. Oh, look what we got here. 5 in a row. Oh, look what we got here. 6 in a row. What do we got here? 7 in a row. Oh, look what we got here. 8 in a row. Oh, what do we got here? 9. Ooh, this one loses. Yeah, we would count this as an entry, and we would have shorted this location. So, that is the one losing trade out of the last 10. Now, this is kind of a hard thing to trade because it's so volatile during the compressionary period sometimes that it's pretty easy to get shaken out. So even though I'm right 9 times out of 10, it's the risk is very hard to manage and it requires a lot of experience. It just takes time. But powerful stuff. There's very few indicators out there that can be right 9 out of 10 times. It's just requires some thinking to actually profit out of it. So if you're a thinking man or woman, you respect those around here, go ahead and check out our indicators. Nice. Hi, Mike. All right, let's check out Litecoin. So that's an active downtrend. Easy to see. So, what stocks does your indicator work well with? Anything that's high volume. So anything that's top 500, it'll work. Yeah, this is an active downtrend. Resistance is at 0.526, and that's miles away. So I'm not even gonna bother. Let's check out Apple, for instance. Let's do the 15-minute. Yeah, so look at this. This one's technically correct. We enter here, but it doesn't reach the mean until here, which is higher than our entry price. So it's right, you just don't profit off it. Or this one here. We enter here, and then it only goes here, and then this was your exposed risk. So you would have stopped out of that. So it's right, you just didn't make any money. This one, however, you enter, boom, beautiful. Boom, beautiful. Yeah, unless you were trading on the weekend, which you weren't gonna catch that. It's the 15, I don't know, I don't care. But it's very well respected. You'll look at this, if it's yellow, that means it doesn't count because it's maxed out. It only goes up to 600. But then you define the green CLCP ranges, and if they're in conjunction with the mean inversion conditions, it gives it a lot more weight. Because it does define ranges very well. And when those ranges break, it typically results in trend, and that trend gets defined really cleanly. And when that trend breaks, it reverts to the mean. Whew. Yeah, that one missed out. That was a losing trade. All right, this is what I'm talking about. This is the holy grail right here. So, how does this occur? If you get an overexpansion, and you see this blue swath here, and it forms the CLCP, that's your golden ticket. Essentially, what you want to do is, once you activate the condition, you just want to sell every swing high possible. And then what happens? It reverts to the mean. Beautiful. All right, so even though this isn't 100%, you look for other conditions that work in conjunction that will help you. Like this here. Beautiful. These swing lows are just perfect. You activated the mean inversion condition, and now it's tagging in swing lows repeatedly. Why? Because it's a bullish mean inversion condition combined with a compressionary condition. It's great. It's good stuff. All right, how many people do we have left? 6 over here and 2. All right, we're done. It's been a pleasure, everybody. I'll talk to you Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. MST. Do join our Discord. We chat all day, pretty much. on important things. So if you want to do that, that'd be great. I'll see y'all later. You guys better have a good day or else.